I love Edmond Dantès, the young girl calmly replied. And none but Edmond shall ever be my husband. And you will always love him, as long as I live. Fernand let fall his head like a defeated man, heaved a sigh that was like a groan, and then suddenly, looking her full in the face, with clenched teeth and expanded nostrils, said, If he is dead, I shall die too. If he has forgotten you? Mercédès! Called a joyous voice from without. Mercédès! Ah! Exclaimed the young girl, blushing with delight, and fairly leaping in excess of love. You see, he has not forgotten me, for here he is. And rushing towards the door, she opened it, saying, Here, Edmond, here I am! Fernand, pale and trembling, drew back, like a traveler at the sight of a serpent, and fell into a chair beside him. Edmond and Mercédès were clasped in each other's arms. The burning Marseille sun, which shot into the room through the open door, covered them with a flood of light. At first they saw nothing around them. Their intense happiness isolated them from the rest of the world, and they only spoke in broken words, which are the tokens of a joy so extreme that they seem rather the expression of sorrow. Suddenly, Edmond saw the gloomy, pale, and threatening countenance of Fernand, as it was defined in the shadow. By a movement for which he could scarcely account to himself, the young Catalan placed his hand on the knife at his belt. Let's just take a second to appreciate what Dumas is doing here. You hear the term cinematic thrown around a lot to describe modern popular books, and indeed, books are now written with the intention of getting movie and TV rights, but this was serialized in 1844 to 1846. Before movies even existed, the idea of cinematic isn't even really a thing. This is strictly just like mind pictures that Dumas is painting here. And in the moment when Dante and Mercédès meet, he essentially crafts a cinematic moment. You can picture it, probably shot with long lenses to blur the background. The background lighting drops, spotlighting them. I picture, the camera spinning around them as they embrace and look at one another. And I can even hear, like, Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet swelling up on the soundtrack at this moment. And, in fact, is this shaping up to be a sort of Romeo and Juliet romance? I mean, the cultural significance of a Catalan marrying outside her tribe, star-crossed lovers, people conspiring against them. Too bad Dante doesn't have a Mercutio on his side. Yet, maybe. We haven't been introduced to everyone yet, I imagine. And what a cliffhanger. I mean, I was joking a while ago about seeing a barroom brawl, but like Fernand making for his knife? Yeesh. Let's not waste any more time and keep pressing forward with Chapter 3 of The Count of Monte Cristo. I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, bye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.